Yeah, so it's still the best show in the whole wide world. It's still Newsinstanta Sports, concurrently run on a band radio scope, the best online radio um station in the whole of North America, on our YouTube channel, Newsinstanta Sports. Don't forget to subscribe and listen to whatever good news and good analysis will bring to you every day of the week. Anyways, we'll be jumping straight to lot of actions. Tennis was booming, UFC was crazy, basketball world is popping. As a matter of fact, Euro Cup is here, Copa America is starting, a lot of good. No, Copa America has started already. A lot
Yeah.
of good juice across the sporting world. I have women today. I have Olawale, I have Olayinka, and I have Shay. You want to say hi to the audience at home, guys? Olawale.
Good day, listeners across the world. Welcome to the show.
Shay. Olayinka, you want to say hi? Looks Shay is not with us.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to the best sports show on this planet.
All right, perfect. And I don't, Shay, you want to introduce yourself or you want to hide behind the curtains?
Hello, everyone. You're welcome to the show today. Hope you're going to
All
have a
right,
nice time.
perfect. I don't even know where to start, but we start from the tennis world. Crazy, crazy, crazy one. Olayinka, coaching Olayinka, a long time coming. Novak Djokovic defeating Rafael Nadal in the semifinals, and in the finals lost the first two sets and won the last three out of the best of five. This is, of course, it's precedented, but this mental strength, this physical dexterity, this agility, I've never seen it in anyone. Flair, rigidity, agility, mental strength, and everything is just like encompassing. If I'm permitted to use that word, and of course, this guy has won the four Grand Slams twice, at least. So he has won the French Open twice. He has won every other title more times. This is like, I don't know. This is wonderful when you think about where Djokovic started from, where he is right now. It's the huge gap. Olayinka, I'll start with you. From the semifinals, he stamped his authority. That was a wonderful performance. Your thoughts, Olayinka?
Honestly, Debo, guys, I am over the moon by this victory. Um, Novak is probably my favorite player amongst the top three because of what is his qualities. He's a versatile player. He has mental strength, like he said, Debo, and he's full of stamina, and his level of concentration is incomparable. In the semi-finals, even despite losing the first
Perfect.
set, which I knew was it, which I deep in my heart, I was a little bit fearful. But the comeback was awesome. It was out of this world. He fully focused on his game. He upped his game, and at the end of the day, he won. And he said something. He said Novak said that for you to play against Nadal in French Open,
Fresh.
you need to be on top of your game. And he said he was on top of his game. And he said that with a smile because he knew what he put into that match. And I knew that the moment he won that match, I knew that nothing was stopping him again. Tsitsipas, yes, is what you call the leader of the new generation of players. He's 22 years old.
Yeah.
You know that is going to be the next big thing. But right now, Novak is the big deal. And I
like
see
more or less like the biggest right now. 19 Grand Slams. He's going to break the
19.
record. Like
Yeah, and
he said have like 5 Grand Slams in him. I said
yeah,
he has more than that. He's just 34 years old. The knees
okay.
are good. The brains are perfect. These
Yeah,
boys are no match for him.
I mean,
Shay, I'm gonna come to you now, Shay. I know you don't like to talk about tennis so much. A couple of years ago, at the Wimbledon finals against Federer, the fans, we all know Wimbledon is like the baby of Federer. The
Yes,
fans were
yes.
shouting and hailing Federer. You know what Djokovic said? He said people were shouting Federer's name, but he was hearing Novak Djokovic. That that's like the epitome of mental strength for me. Like I've
Yeah.
never seen anything close to it. I've never seen anything like it. Like I don't know if you were playing against him, or how will you evaluate this player? How will you evaluate him? Sincerely,
Uh,
tell me.
Debo, is that to evaluate Novak? We know Roger Federer. We know Federer is like the king on grass, and definitely you expect the Wimbledon fans to love him, which they still love him. But there's something different about Joko. I think his mental strength, his ability to also stay out of injury. I think that's one of the things that I've seen in Djokovic that actually really surprises me, especially with the type of the way he plays. We know most times when you see Djokovic can play with the same intensity over 5 sets in Grand Slams, which is very, very unrare for a player like that to stay at the top
For that
for
long.
this not yeah this
Yeah.
not this number of years. So I
Yeah.
think with that, you mentioned that we are looking at Djokovic having more than 5 Grand Slams. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that is really, really positive because
Okay.
the new generation, the likes of Tsitsipas and
Alexander Zverev,
Zverev
Tsitsipas,
coming
and the
behind, I
rest.
don't think
Roman
those guys can
Bajevle.
match him at the
No, they
moment.
can't.
yeah,
They can't.
at this
Probably in
time.
the next 5 years, we can see him start diminishing. But at the moment, the guy is on fire and unstoppable.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Kashi,
unstoppable.
I'm gonna come for you on this one. First 2 sets, he lost the first 2 sets, 6-7, 8-7, whatever, 6-2, and it looks like okay, looks like Novak is not gonna win this one, but he came back. Actually, truth be told, I felt he was going to lose, so I went to bed to take a nap, and I came back and I saw Djokovic whooping these guys all over. I'm like, okay, I knew this could happen. Kachi,
I'm right here.
yeah, tell me your opinion.
The truth is, when it comes to Novak, the Joker, who I must mention is a diehard AC Milan fan for the whole world to know, because it's like greatness runs in the family. I just had to put that out there.
Okay,
Oh
Uh,
my God.
okay.
one thing you should, and I was trying to get the actual stats
Okay.
while this question was being posed at me, but I don't have it right now. But I think Djokovic is probably one of the guys who has won more Grand Slams by coming from 2 sets down.
Hmm.
Part of what, and I know I've played devil's advocate for against Joker on this show
Yeah.
several times, but part of what you guys have always used to counter us or counter me is the mental strength that Djokovic has. I've tried to ascribe it to him growing up in Eastern Europe, but
Mhm.
the record is, the fact is that Joker is amongst the big three now, is one of the guys who have won multiple Grand Slams coming from 2 sets down.
Wow.
Now, what it says more, well, I'll say both ways. It says more about Djokovic's resilience. It also says a lot more about
Your opponent.
Tsitsipas's inexperience in holding down significant set lead over top seeds like
Yeah.
Djokovic.
Yeah.
You know, Djokovic has been there, he has done that. He knows the game is not over. Djokovic has been involved in marathon finals ending in 4.5 hours, 5 hours, 5.5 hours, 6 hours games. He has seen it all. He hadn't won 18 Grand Slams before this weekend's win. 18 Grand Slam was not won in one day. It was won playing different types of games, different types of surfaces as well. I don't know if any of the panelists have mentioned it, but he's now the only third player to have completed a career Grand Slam twice. Yes, twice.
Yeah.
It speaks more of the mental capacity that he has. But it's a good way for Tsitsipas to get bloodied. The truth is, when you have your first Grand Slam easy, imagine if he had won in straight sets. He would think this is how finals are decided. Sometimes it's good to get blood, get a good punch in your nose, and let you know that until it says game, set, match,
we need a lot.
I just hope this does not kill the young kids' courage and mental strength. I hope he's going to come out of it because it was actually shaking. Alali, the final question is going to come for you. Most deaf, everybody will agree this guy's like, if not the greatest, one of the greatest, no doubt about it. How many Grand Slams should we expect from this guy in the coming years? Sincerely, you can't help it.
Unfortunately, it looked like an easy question. At the same time, these are kind of things you can't really call. Well, from where we are today, you are looking at who is actually ability-wise, the mental strength-wise, who is actually up to it against Novak. From the way it looks like, Nadal can probably only match him on clay. I don't think he could probably match him now on
any other surface
or any other surface. And considering Nadal's injury history too, and Novak, one of the good things that will be going for him is I think he has been injury free, as in not as in he has not been, as in his injury record has not been that bad like that of Federer or Nadal. So if you ask me, I'll probably still give him 3 years. If I give him 3 years, I'll still give him two Grand Slams at least for each of the years. Yeah. So probably 6 at least. And I'm even playing safe without 6. I'm playing safe without 6.
Good. I've watched tennis, I guess, since 1993 or 1992. I'm a die-hard fan of Pisampras. I don't like Andre Agassi because of Pisampras. I like Monica Seles, then Serena Williams. Then my best is, of course, Roger. But truth be told, I've never seen anything like this guy before in my life when it comes to tennis world.
And another thing we need to look at when you look at Novak Djokovic career, at the time Novak was coming to the limelight, Federer and Nadal were up there. And they were not just up there, they were dominating. That alone is enough to even demoralize you, like, wow. I think I'm out in a very bad era or difficult era. But the guy held his own. He held his own. He started, I think, 2008 final, Australian Open final against Joe Wilfred Songa. I think that was his first title. And since then, the guy, he has never looked back. I think, I don't have the record, but I'm sure if we are to look at the number of Grand Slam won from that point to date.
To date, he has won more than those other guys.
He has won more than those other guys.
True that. He has won more than the other 2 guys.
And if I may say one more thing, sorry. Nadal's loss to Novak on Friday, it was only the third out of 108 career match on clay. That goes to show the tenacity.
I was just about to say that, but it brought it out of my mouth already. Which is great. We can energize him all day, every day. is a king and he deserves to be treated like a royal. And of course, to the female version, where they have the best of three, the unseeded Barbara Grisikovac actually won. Uh, won against Pavlichenko 6-1, 2-6, 6-4. I'll just put a quick question out. I'll start with Sholali. Do we put this down to the withdrawal of Naomi Osaka, or whether she was there or not? This girl, this young and lovely lady, will have won anyways.
Yeah,
It's hard to tell. I know.
It's very hard because now if you look at Naomi Osaka, I think she has 4 Grand Slam titles to her name. And I think she won both all the 4 titles at the US and the Australia Open. Well, in her young career, in her young tennis career, she has not really been great on the on other surface like clay and probably grass to an extent. But again, last year was COVID year. We couldn't see her. So it's still early to call. You know, clay, it's a bit of a different surface entirely.
I know.
If she was there, our chance of win is actually very high, but I don't think it's actually guaranteed.
Okay, great. Kachi, just before we leave the tennis world, I want to ask you a question. There's a name on people's lip right now, and her name is Coco Gauff, the young American. What's your thoughts about this girl's astronomic upward trend?
Coco is coming from, you know how they say Brazilians churn out very good footballers. Americans have been known to churn out, precocious teenagers who are talented in the game of tennis. And Coco is no exception. I wouldn't say I'm a bit surprised by how fast she's risen. I think it says more about how the WTA right now, probably has more grassroots programs helping just these young talents, hone their skills, get better. But she may be rising a bit too fast because her inexperience showed in the quarterfinals of this year's Roland Garros. But most times, so I'd rather say it's probably best for you to suffer these losses as a young teenager, and let's see how mentally tough you are. The rise is very welcome in the sport. This is what the male game is lacking right now. Since this ferocious Australian, I'm trying to remember his name.
Karagios.
Nick Kyrgios.
But sincerely, you can't blame them. Let's do balancing equation or balance of equation like we did in the maths, right? Back in the days. Take Federer, Nadal, and Novak from the mix. Sorry. These guys.
Grand Slam.
And Murray has not been. He has been injured for like 3-4 years, right? And he has just 2 Grand Slams. Yeah, so let's just take the top 3 away from the mix. You see all these guys, they can actually hold the forte. People like Ruben Medvedev, Alexander Zverev, this young guy. They can actually hold their own. It's not like they're that bad, but
I'm not saying they're bad. What I'm saying is we hardly see precocious male teenagers
from the US. Okay.
Oftentimes you see them coming in their 20s.
Okay. Oh, sorry for the interpretation.
Yeah, so that's basically what I was saying. That in the I don't know if the WTA, goes further down the grassroots to say, hey, come play professionally as early as you can, or if the competition is just not as tough as the male one, because she's not just the only teenager. Naomi Osaka burst in as a teenager. Sloane Stephens came in as a teenager. Coco Gauff is there. This the greatest, in my own opinion, Serena Williams first Grand Slam as a teenager as well. So
Yeah.
this beautiful Russian lady that should be a model instead of a tennis player.
Sharapova.
Sharapova, the screamer.
And also we need to remember Martina Hingis.
Martina Hingis came in as a teenager. Anna Konikova came in as a teenager. So it looks like the WTA it's kind of like shaped to bring out these skills much earlier than it is in the male game. I don't know. I'm just assuming.
Yeah, but you're right with empirical facts, of course.
Debo, if I may quickly say just a minute on the female version of the French Open. I think this year the competition wasn't that high because apart from Naomi Osaka that was missing, we also had Simona Halep missing. Then world number one Ashley Barty, she wasn't there as well as Petra Kvitova. So basically, I think it was anybody's game from the beginning for the female version, and Krejcikova, she took advantage of that.
But we did mention it, guys. We mentioned it that it's more likely for us to see a new winner in the female version of this year's Roland Garros than would be in the male. We mentioned just before the tournament started that there's more uncertainty in the female side than we have in the male side.
100%. And of course, we move to the last style vendor. Israel Adesanya.
Man. I know they carry last.
They carry last. That's the guy for us, the Nigerian-born New Zealand guy. Defeated Vettori Heath Martin in, I don't know. God, it was I don't even know how to put it. It wasn't messy. It was joking stuff, just to put it. At a point, it pretended as if he had an hamstring injury, you know. It was just having fun, basically. The guy was no match for him, 100%, right from the word go. Olayinka, I'll allow you to take the lead on this one.
Okay. UFC 263. It was an awesome one. Like you said, Adesanya, to me, from what I saw, Adesanya actually he had a game plan. He learned from his mistake in his last fight against in the light heavyweight division against Jan Blazkowicz. He learned from his mistakes. In that match, the moment the heavier Jan put Adesanya on the floor, Adesanya actually stayed on the floor. So this time around, he knew that for him to win this free match against Vettori, who he knew was coming back with a vengeance, with a desire to actually take a revenge. Obviously, Vettori would have studied the Adesanya's last fight. So he knew that if he could get Adesanya on the floor, keep him there, exhaust him, prevent him from using his kicks and his versatility.
He had a chance.
He had a chance. Adesanya is an unpredictable fighter. He can change his stance. You probably think he's a southpaw. Next minute, he moves into a right-handed style. So he knew that Vettori knew that he could not match all of that. So the best thing was for him to try and keep Adesanya on the floor, but he couldn't. The last style bender showed that he is the dominant force in the middleweight class. I don't think anybody can match him again. Ultimately,
at this rate, he still have to move out of this division. It's just too good for the division as it stands.
Yeah, ultimately, it's going to move on.
Yeah. And of course, Nate Diaz is filming at his defeat by Leon. And away from that, let's move straight to the world of basketball. Olali, I'm going to start with you. LA Clippers looking like they were about to be dusted, came back 2-1 in the series against the Utah Jazz. I know Kachi is going to say I'll probably become an Utah Jazz fan one day. But of course, I will if they win the championship. Anyways, Bolali, back to the matter at hand. Utah Jazz, how well do you think they're going to fare against this LA Clippers? Clippers does not look in their raw elements. They don't look it. Even at the end of the fourth quarter, Kawhi was still looking as if, okay, till the buzzer goes off, I'm not confident. How do you think Clippers will be able to fare against the Jazz? Do you think this is going to go into the seventh game, or Utah Jazz is going to flatter like they always do?
Yeah, well, you have to give credit, a little bit of credit to the Clippers, considering circumstances they made themselves. They actually the series against Dallas Mavericks went to game 7, and game 7 is always very emotional. And they had to play their first game against Utah Jazz, I think 48 hours after the game 7. And if you could recall, the game 1 went to the last. It was a one possession game. The second game, game 2, they were not there. But you could see yesterday they are back in their element. If they could tie the series tomorrow 2-2, I think the Clippers will win the series in 6 games.
Okay.
Because I see them stealing game 5 in Salt Lake City.
Okay. Kachi, do you subscribe to what Wale said?
I
I know
actually
you're
wanted
the wrong person to ask the question, but
I actually wanted to echo that sentiment. No, seriously, I wanted to echo Wale's sentiment that even in the 2 losses that the Clippers have suffered back in Utah, they were not embarrassing losses, in spite of the fact that, yes, they played game 1 48 hours after winning a very tight series that went all the way to game 7. Even in the second game that they lost, it was just a brick. I can't remember who shot